Hey guys, B-Toach here, back with a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and a review on the Wooting 80HE. Before we get into the video, I would just like to state that this board was purchased with 100% my own money, so these are going to be 100% my own words. Let's get into the review. Alrighty guys, so here we have the box, the Wooting 80HE. Top corner here, you got the Wooting logo. In the middle, you got a picture of the actual board, and then it says Wooting 80HE right at the bottom there. The picture is actually spelt with a bunch of, made with a bunch of the words Wooting on it, which is kind of cool. Cool art design there. Different from the 60HE box, which was black, and it had the name of some of the backers, the original backers of the board on it. On the top of the box here, you got barcode, simple stuff like that. Dropping the board, but got a little keyboard on the bottom here. Says "You with us, challenging the industry," and says wooting.io at the bottom. Alrighty, so let's get into the box here. This little pull tab down here, pretty standard opening. As you can see, get into the box, you have the board here, dust cover on top, and you got all the accessories up here. So let's get into the accessories first. I may or may not have opened this already. I was a little impatient when it came in, but you would find this bag. Everything that was in here is in here, and then you'd find the cable. I already have the cable plugged in here. It is a little different than the 60HE cable. As you can see, it's like a black and gray color. Kind of nice. Change it up a little bit from the yellow and black cable from the 60HE. Alright, inside the accessory bag here, get a keycap switch puller. Pretty standard. Just a little double-sided one, not too bad. It works. It's not the best, but it works. Got some extra keycaps in here. Actually, take a look of what we got in here. See what they gave us extras of. Looks like just some simple keycaps. End keycap, a home, an extra Wooting Windows keycap. And then there's these three. A1, 2, and 3. Can't say I know what these are for, but figure something out with those. But yeah, just 7 extra keycaps, just in case you lose a few. We also have a little baggie with some extra switches in it. Take a look at those. So with this board, you do get the Lecker V2 switches in it. They are just a little bit improved over the V1 switches. They sound a little bit different. They have a little bit more of a thocky sound, in my opinion. But just overall, it's just been improved. Stem wobble, just overall construction of it. I believe the lifespan is a little bit better on these as well. They still don't sound the best out of the magnetic switches, but they're not bad. The V2s are not bad. They definitely sound much better, in my opinion, than the V1s. They still do have the exposed magnet on the bottom, but what can you ask for with stock switches on a stock board? They also do give you one L45. I don't know why they only give you one. It would be cool. Like, they gave you 3 of the L60s. And they only give you one of the L45. It would be cool if they gave you 2 of each, just so you can actually do a proper test with the L45 on 2 switches instead of just 1. But yeah, that's it for the switches you get in the accessory bag. And then we get the standoff, the rubber standoffs for the bottom of the board. My opinion with these is they're kind of stupid, and I'll show you why once we get the board out here, why I think they're a little stupid. If you do want more tilt on the board, they're useful, right? But like, just the way that they look once they're on the board, I think it looks quite stupid. In my, this board in the stock case is pretty flat, so it does help adding just maybe just the 6-degree wedges here, if you want to call them, to add just a little bit more of the tilt. But just the way that it looks, in my opinion, I don't know, I just really don't like the look of it on my desk, and it just, my OCD kicks off with those, with the look of those. You also do get slightly bigger ones. These ones are like the thick boys. These are 10-degree If I can actually flip these the right way up for you guys. 10-degree ones. So you get 2 6-degree, 2 10-degree, and then I believe the ones that are on the board, I want to say they're 3, but we'll check. And then the last thing in the accessory bag is you get a few extra little screws in case you lose some when you're modding. But that's a nice little add inside the box here, just in case you do lose a few screws while modding. It does look like it comes with 4 of one type and 3 of a different type, so you have variety in here. It's not just one type of screw, which is nice. But that's it for the accessory bag, other than the cable, like I explained before. So let's get into the actual board here. So if we lift the dust cover off and we throw that to the side, we can actually see the actual board here. Underneath the board, you get a little guide on how to install switches properly. I'll just take a look at that quickly. Pause the video. And then at the bottom of the box here, it just says Wooting, nice big letters. It's also drawn with the words Wooting, which is a nice, like I said, a nice art feature, like we showed on the front of the box here with the actual picture of the board. I think it's just a cool little touch, in my opinion, other than just printing words on a box. But into the board now, as you can see, the TKL 80% form factor here, quite nice. You do get the F row, and then you get your these keys up here, your print screen, pause, that type of stuff, page up and down, delete, and you get your arrow keys. But the rest of the board is going to be the same as the 60% format. You get all those keys plus more. The back of the board has some of the only branding on it. If you guys can even see, you guys can't even see it. There you go. It says Wooting right there, and like a stealth logo, which is super nice if you're not a big fan of branding. Super stealth, you don't even notice it. Like I showed to you there, you guys can't even see it. There is another logo at the front of the board, almost like they did on the 60HE. Little Wooting logo there. If we look on the bottom here, it does have a little badge, and then it has the standoff feet here. So if we pry these bad boys off, so 2.8 degree, that's what you get with the standard ones. So if you pry those bad boys off, just looks like that, has 2 little holes there. And we'll try the 6 degree out and show you once you pop those bad boys in. I think personally this looks pretty stupid. It kind of hangs off the edge there, and I just really don't like the look of it. It does add that tilt, so if you're looking for the added tilt with this board on the stock case, you're able to get it right out of the box with the full board, right? You don't have to mod anything, or you don't have to buy another case to get that tilt. It's a good thing that they added these standoffs, because with the 60HE you had one 1 degree of tilt, and that was it. That's all you had. You had one position and you couldn't change it unless you had a new case or something like that, right? Or you did something or you put something under the case to raise it up, something like that. With the 10 degree ones, I personally think it looks even stupider. I don't know, it's just not a good look in my opinion. I think there was a better way to solve the problem with the tilt on the stock case here. Putting back the 2.8 degree one here. It is USB-C. If you guys can see that. There we go. Quite standard keycaps, shine through. Nothing too exciting there. My opinions on this board over the 60HG, the one thing that I really noticed opening it was the typing feel. This being a gasket mount board, it has a lot more of a softer typing feel. If you've never used a gasket mount board before, it almost has a bounciness to it. Now, depending on how much foam you add in the board, or depending what you add in the board, the bounciness is going to really depend. Because if you add a lot of foam in the back of the board, it's going to bounce less because the case is more dense. There's more density inside the case, right? So there's just going to be less bounciness. If you add no foam and there's a space in between the PCB and the case, there's going to be a good amount of bounciness to it. But with the stock implementation of the 80HE here, I think they did an amazing job out of the box. It's a super high quality board. I mean, like from the 60HE, which I thought was a super high quality board, getting this here The build quality feels the same in my opinion. The plastic they used, I don't know if it's the exact same, but it feels the same. There's not much flexing. It does torque a little bit, but that's what you can expect with a plastic keyboard. With the zinc alloy, which I don't have in hand, but what I've heard is that it's super nice because of how dense the material is. It's less piggy than something like an aluminum case. Um, I do want to maybe get the zinc alloy, and I'm not sure. I would like to get a case for this. My plan is to make a YouTube series with this board, just upgrading it, doing stabs, plate, doing a new foam inside, tape mod, doing switches, doing keycaps, doing, like I said, the case, just kind of modding the whole thing and making a whole YouTube series about it so I can share it with you guys and just gives me more video ideas. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, just like the build quality from this to the 60HE to this is very similar, but the typing feel on this is just, in my opinion, 10 times better. Just the gasket mount, just how soft it feels, and just it is a lot quieter too with the gasket mount. It's not as loud, which you'll hear in the sound test I'm going to provide at the end of the video. You guys will be able to hear the sound of the Lecker V2 switches and how the gasket mount sounds, and just generally how the board sounds stock, how the stabs sound, and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, like overall, the performance of the board has been super solid so far. Like I said, I've already been using it for about 5 days now. It feels super similar to the 60HE. I would say that this board feels just ever so slightly snappier. Now that could just be me being legitimately crazy, and that's a placebo effect to me because of the 8K, and I'm like, oh, there's 8K on this board, so it just feels better. But when I'm strafing, it does feel a little bit just a tiny, ever so slightly bit, like just a little bit more sensitive, and it just feels a little bit more snappy, which I like and which I'm looking for on a gaming keyboard. But yeah, like I said, end of the video is gonna be a sound test. So if you guys are looking for that, you guys can just skip ahead and go look at that. But I'm very impressed with what they've done here with the 80HE. I was a little bit scared with the size if it was gonna be a big game changer for me from a 60% format. But honestly, it's not too much difference. Like if I pull my ducky into frame here, let me move my mouse. It's not too much bigger. Now, yes, it's literally just adding these keys to the length of it, right? So it's not going to be so much bigger, and then you're adding just a little bit more height. But when playing on my desk, it doesn't feel any bigger. Like when I'm in we'll call it my most locked in position, while I have my keyboard tilted and I'm just in a locked in gaming position, I don't feel like I need to bring my keyboard any closer to me. I don't feel like it's too big that it's like hitting my stomach or hitting my chest. I feel like it performs perfectly. The size of it's great. I like to have the F row. There is some games that I like to play that require different keybinds. So the F row is nice having. It's nice having the F row because I'm not having to press the function button than just the number. It's definitely nice having arrow keys, which is multimedia function, just watching YouTube, Netflix, that type of stuff, volume up and down, and be able to skip and go back, stuff like that, right? I really wish I didn't sell my 60HE before I got a sound test, but the only way I would have bought this board is if I sold my 60HE. So I kind of sold it, waited for this to come in, then I handed it off to the guy. I'm sorry that I didn't get a sound test, but there's plenty of just stock sound tests or Tofu 60 Redux case sound test on YouTube. You guys can watch with the Lecker V1 switches in it. So you guys will be hearing the 80HE with the Lecker V2 switches in it at the end of the video, and you guys can compare. And eventually down the line, when we do get switches in a case and everything for this board, I do believe it's going to sound a lot better. I have heard personally Marcel, just another creator, his 80HE sounds amazing. He has Jade Pros with the zinc case, and he's just done a few other mods, and it just sounds unreal. Like it just sounds, in my opinion, the best magnetic keyboard on the market. Just there's nothing that compares to it. But yeah, guys, like to conclude everything, it is an amazing package. I would highly recommend it. Wooting makes an amazing product. A lot of pro gamers use their products, and that should speak for itself. If it's good enough for a pro gamer, that means it should be good enough for you. If you're just looking for the best peripherals and the best gaming stuff, if it's good enough for a pro to use, it's good enough for you to use. That's how I usually see it now. I wouldn't buy products because your favorite pro uses it, but like I said, if it's good enough for pros to use, it's definitely good enough for you to use. Um, but yeah, just total good package, great build quality. Super stoked with the accessories in the bag, the extra switches, extra keycaps, extra screws if I do lose some while modding. Unboxing experience is good. They've always done, Wooting's always had good packaging, eco-friendly packaging if you're into that type of stuff. I would like to, before I sign off here, I would like to plug this in and show you guys the lights on this board. Unplug the ducky here, plug this bad boy in. I do just have it set on solid color right now. It's bluish green color. You can see shine through keycaps. But then you do have this light bar here, which is an added feature, I guess you can call, on the 80HE. You can set it to multiple different things. I just have it on solid blue right now. You can set it to any color you want. You can set each individual LED to whatever color you want. You can use it for a profile indicator, if you have multiple profiles on your keyboard, it will show you which profile you're on. You can use it for like rapid trigger sensitivity, or you can use it for actuation point sensitivity, like showing how far you've pressed down the keys. Just a bunch of different things they've added with this little light bar here. I think it's a cool little touch. There's boards with screens and stuff like that on it, but I think Wooting did a nice job with this, just a simple little light bar like this. But yeah, guys, sound test is going to be coming right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, more videos coming very soon.